Hi everyone, welcome to History on Trial. This is Dr. Tracy McCarthy, psychologist, attorney, and educator. We're going to be talking about the linkages between those who are identified as the Maori and those who have been identified as Caucasian, Circassian, Khazar, and the rest of the groups over in that Eurasian area, specifically Iran. And so the assertion is that the MORS, the Maori, are basically Scythian and Iranic, meaning from ancient Iran or Persia. Now, the people in the Caucasus area have been identified by many names, and what's very confusing about the identity of the people from the Caucasus area is that they have suffered a significant amount of deportation and that replacement demography dynamic where they have been moved out and then other people have been moved in. So there has been quite a bit of switching of identities and deportation and sending people to all sorts of places and renaming them. And so the person that you see on the screen is an example of what was considered a Caucasian beauty. So this was the prototype of a Caucasian woman and the prototype of what it meant to be beautiful in terms of being Caucasian. And this includes everything from the physical features and the face to the skin color and also the hair. And here you see additional depictions of Caucasian women to give you a better idea of the phenotype that was being used to present this prototype of a Caucasian woman. And so this then adds a lot of credence to some of the assertions that are coming out of India, some of the assertions that are coming out of Iran, and also some of the assertions that have come from historians in terms of Ireland and Scotland when they talk about the ancestors and the cultural identity of some of those ancestors. And so you have individuals who espouse a view that Caucasians look a particular way, and that American Indians look a particular way, and that Moorish people look a particular way, and African people look a particular way. But what you are seeing here is that some of those assertions, those facts over time may not be completely accurate. And so we're just going to quickly delve into some of the assertions that are coming out of Iran about the ancestry of those who've been identified as Maori. And you can make decisions for yourself about whether you believe that these individuals that they are talking about, who would be related to people like those who are on the screen, are the same as the individuals who are identifying themselves as Moorish in America and also as American Indians. Because remember, part of the American Indian narrative is that the people came over from this area in Eurasia and then made their way over into the Americas. And so again, you can come up with your own assumptions about what you think about what's being asserted and share those responses in the comment section. Or you can create your own discussion and then leave a link so that we can all participate. So far, we have multiple scholars from different parts of the world making assertions about the ancestry of the Maurya, the Moors. And this is coming from India, this is coming from Scotland, Ireland, Iran. And so you have a number of groups of people that are related to this particular group of people making assertions about these histories. And so we're going to look at some of the assertions that are being made, and hopefully we can get a little bit more clarity about who these people are based upon these assertions. Now, if you have information, evidence to support what is being asserted by this Indian scholar, then please share that in the comment section, or again, make your own video discussion so that we can all participate. If you have evidence that contradicts it, also share that. So we're just going to go over some of these assertions related to the identity of the Maurya, the Moors. The first one is that the Maurya, Muras, Moors were Jats. What this is basically saying is this is a family group, and this is a patrilineal family group. So this isn't just a group that you can join or someone can just refer to you as a Moor or a Maurya. You actually have to be in that family line. That's why conflating this with religion is inappropriate, because this is definitely being asserted as a family line, and you can't just join a family line based upon religion. And so it's important to keep this in mind. And this has been a consistent assertion that this is a family group. And so you have the Mauryas, MURAs. They are saying that they are not only a family line, but they are a specific family line, and that they are Scythian or of East Iranic origin, meaning that ancient Iran origin, Persia. So again, if you have information to support this or refute it, please share that. The other thing that is asserted is that cultural evidence of the Maurya or the Moors is sun worship, and they have priests who support this sun worship, and they travel wherever they migrate to. The priests travel with them, and you will see evidence of this monotheistic sun worship wherever this group is. And so you will often see this as a result of conquest, because the Scythians are historically involved in conquest. And so also the Mauryan dynasty. So you will see this dynamic of conquest, and what comes with conquest is ethnic cleansing often. And so some people don't like to hear that, or they don't want to talk about that part of their ancestry, but that's a part of the ancestry when conquest is involved. That's usually a part of that, is an ethnic cleansing dynamic. And with this group in particular, that has definitely historically been the case. And so you also have an assertion that the Maurya and Moors were close kin of the Amorites of Babylonia and Egypt. So again, if you have evidence to support that, please share it. We've talked about the relationship before. What this is saying, though, is very specific, because what is being said is they are not the same people, but they are related to them. Another group that they are related to, in terms of a family group, are the Goths. And so this is very important information in terms of understanding what's being put out there about the ancestry of the Maurya, the Moors, and also since these individuals are in the Americas and in Africa, it's also saying something about their relationship with a particular part of the world. And so you even have with the American Indian narrative this relationship with, or this origin story that starts over in that area. Many of these issues should have already been very clearly addressed, but what's happening is that individuals who would theoretically be teaching on this topic, they are not always being forthcoming in terms of just the basics. And so part of being an educator is to not play hide the ball. And so there is a lot of hiding the ball that goes on with the identity of this group of people, a lot of mysticism, a lot of esoteric stuff. And, you know, perhaps there is a space for that somewhere, but when you're talking about teaching and educating, particularly in the times that we are in right now, it's best to be clear, and it's best to be forthright, and it's best to avoid taking people down all of these different paths that don't lead to clarity. And so if you're going to be a good educator attempts to be clear whenever possible. So the bottom line question is, for this particular section, and this is part 1, is do you believe or have evidence to support that the Maurya, also known as the Moors, with one O, are of Scythian and Iranic origin? Or do you believe that there is some other origin? Now, there have been other origin stories that have been put out there, but this particular origin story seems to be consistent across multiple historians over time. Now, clearly, if the Moors or Moorish people are the actual Caucasians, this really turns history on its head. Remember, knowledge is power. Take care. See you soon.